All right, so I'm back in cold weather gear again. I have no idea why the South is so freaking cold, and it seems like every other day it's like either shorts and a t-shirt and getting a tan, or it's 40 degrees and windy and rainy. So here I am again, and today I got up early, got up about 5 o'clock, tried to get an extra hour's start on it. Left early, probably 5:45, 6, and I'm hustling downriver, get to the lock, and I call her when I'm like 20 minutes out, and she says, well, Cap, I got a tow coming up northbound, and so I'm gonna hold the lock for him. So I said, okay, how long is that gonna be? She says, well, he's about a half hour out. So he's 30 minutes out, and then it takes him about 45 minutes to get through. And so now I'm stuck waiting. I woke up an extra hour early to get a good start on the day, and then I'm just here stuck at anchor outside the lock. Waiting here to go down that way towards the lock. A couple other power boats have showed up, and of course they're probably going to take my starboard tie. So I'm just sick and tired of these rivers. The river system has been so monotonous. It's been so long. I'm coming up on 9.5 weeks when I'd only planned on 6 weeks. So I'm ready to be in Mobile. I'm ready to have this mast put up. All right, so here's tonight's anchorage, just off of the main drag, or the main channel, through the Tombigbee River, the 10 Tom here. So my plan A didn't work. I was supposed to be tucked up around the corner up that way. It's like 28, 29, 30 feet of depth, and I don't really feel comfortable in that kind of depth. So what I'm doing is I hugged right up against the shore, and I've got my chain out here. I'm only in like 8 feet of water, so I don't have much out. I've got a stern anchor off the starboard side. Now that's not too far out into the channel, because the depth comes up gradually here, and if the barges are coming by, they can draw up to 12 feet, maybe a little bit more. And if they snag that at night, I'm screwed. It would be a bad time. And so that is keeping me from swinging into shore. And then to keep me from swinging out into the channel, I found this barge dock line, and so this is tied up to a tree right there, and this thing was so heavy the dinghy could barely bring it over here. And so this is gonna, I just put it around my winch here, and that's gonna keep me from swinging out into the channel. So this is the first time I've used 3 different lines to anchor or to tie up for the night. I know that line's not going anywhere. My chain and the front anchor, I don't have much scope out, but I'm really not worried about going too far off that anchor. The only thing I'm worried about, if anything, would be if this anchor is deep enough for a barge, if he does get close enough, that he doesn't clip it with his front corner, whether it's a port or starboard side, it would be off his bow. So that's the only thing I'm semi worried about, but hopefully it'll be okay. I guess we'll find out. What a scary situation that was. I was just anchored, Saros and I, we are anchored out together right underneath a bridge, and this was a recommended anchorage, and to stay to the east side on the southern part of the bridge. The lift part of the bridge is to the west, so we figured we would be clear. And we dropped anchors, put 2 stern, put a bow and a stern anchor out, both boats. And then a huge tow came around the corner and starts blaring on his horn. We hop on the radio, he's yelling at us to get out of there. Apparently, even though they use the lift bridge in the center, the tows still go through the eastern wing of it. So we were in a spot that if the sun had already set and there's a tow coming in later at night, we could have been crushed. So a really scary, unnerving moment. Just last thing you want right after a 10-hour day of sailing, and after you drop 2 anchors and start to relax, is to get a angry call from a tow master saying that you got to get out of there. So now I'm going to be motoring at night here on the river. It's going to be dark soon. The sun is set, so we're just waiting for the last rays of light to go through. Soros is going up a little bit further to check out a couple different anchored spots. I think I'm only going to have to go for about an hour. That is an hour way too long, so really not happy about this. Kind of a nervous situation, but we'll make it through, God willing. So I'll give you guys an update when we get anchored. All right, here is your real life situation of night vision. The sun went down, I can't see anything, and I finally found a spot along the side here, and there's Cerise that I've been traveling with. And there I can scan the side of the bank and figure out how close I can get to anchoring without hitting the keel on the bottom. So right now is a really sketchy time. I'm trying to film this really quick for you guys, but I've got to get back and get on the anchor. One of the best parts about being on this trip is meeting all the other people out there, all the other boaters. And I went through the Chicago lock with that trawler right there. That's Traveler over there. So we've both been going for about 10 weeks here. He's stopped for days, I've stopped for days in different spots, yet we still meet at the very bottom of the river towards Mobile. It's good to see familiar faces again. Okay, I think we're at T-minus 5 days until Mobile. I'm getting really close. Today's a Sunday, taking a day of rest. I have some really good friends of mine, the original Wranglers, Chris and Bryce Dawson. They are in town, and they said they can make it out and meet me today, so they're going to come out and we're going to try to figure this out. We have barely 1 bar of service, so, and it's spotty at that. So I sent him my location yesterday when I did get a bar through, and so I said, look, you guys are the original Wranglers, you guys can make it out here and find me. So I'm not gonna move. You start hollering when you're close and I'll come get you. So I'm in Okatupa Creek, which is a awesome creek here. I highly recommend this anchorage to anyone passing by. This is just, I think, 6 miles north of the famous Bobby's Fish Camp, and that is the last fuel stop right before Mobile. So loopers, you guys will hear of Bobby's, and this is a perfect anchorage just north of it that you can still get in, get your catfish dinner, and you can come back here and anchor easily. So here is the view. The main Tom Bigby waterway is that channel out there, and then Okatupa Creek comes back through this way, and then it goes way down there, and that's where we're going to do some exploring today. So this is a hunting ground through here, public hunting ground, so I've been hearing shots all day long. I know that they're hunting deer, coyote, and wild hog, and then I think a couple guys are out here hunting gators. That's the other thing. I was having dinner with the Canadian power boaters, Doug and Glenda, yesterday, and they said on their travels just the day before they saw 2 gators, one of them about 6 to 8 foot long, which is unbelievable because I haven't seen one yet. But that does it does certainly keep my toes out of the water. Looks like we're gonna make it on this. Hey, wait for YouTube, man. Woo! Yeah! Woo! I can't believe I made it through. That was pretty close. About 1.5 feet of clearance. I could just put my hand up and touch the bridge. That guy was so friendly there with CSX, the railroad. Really nice guys there. So I'm so close to Mobile. I'm anchoring out about 12 miles away tonight, and then tomorrow I'm gonna be in the big city. So I'm very excited, very excited. So we will catch you downriver and hopefully in the Soul. This guy just came in from across the ocean. You can see it's got his quarantine flag up, the yellow flag. That is pretty cool. Would you look at it? Just look at all that. I made it. I made it to Mobile. I got past all the rivers. I got past all those pine trees and nasty muddy banks, and I'm back on open ocean water. I can't believe I made it here. I'm so pumped. This is the biggest achievement, biggest thrill of my life, and I did it. Woo! Got the mast put back up. I'm so excited to get this tuned and get on out of here and start sailing again.